The Prince and Princess of Wales have lived in their new home in Windsor for just under a year, and it looks like there won't be any more moves for the foreseeable future. Hello, darlings. Subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and here we go. The couple and their 3 children have been living in a cottage in Adelaide since last year, but rumour has it that they may take over Prince Andrew's current residence, the Royal Lodge, if and when Prince Andrew agrees to leave it. It has been reported that King Charles is keen for Andrew to move out of the 30-room Royal Lodge to something smaller, but the Duke of York is said to be adamant that he wants to stay put. This means William and Kate will also have to stay in the cottage in Adelaide, despite a source saying they think the cottage is too small. The insider told, "William and Kate love the cottage, but it's too small for them. There are 4 bedrooms, which they can almost all fit in, but there are other things to consider. Staff and other elements need to be considered. They were looking for a bigger house but have now come to terms with the fact that they will be stuck in the cottage because there is no other property for them." But what does the cottage look like inside, and who used to live there? Where is Adelaide Cottage located? Adelaide Cottage is located in the heart of the 265-hectare Windsor estate and is very close to Windsor Castle. This means that it is relatively easy for the Prince and Princess of Wales to drop in on King Charles when he is in residence. The cottage was built in 1831 as a retreat for William IV's wife, Queen Adelaide, after whom it is named. It was also known to be Queen Victoria's favourite home, as she loved to have breakfast there. What does Adelaide Cottage look like on the inside? Adelaide Cottage underwent a major renovation in 2015, and it's said to be why William and Kate were interested in the property. As the home doesn't cost a lot, and despite its apparent modesty by royal standards, the interior is said to boast some really impressive details, including a marble Greco-Egyptian fireplace. Meanwhile, the master bedroom is considered a work of art, as it features a vaulted ceiling with gilded dolphins and a special rope decoration made from material from the Royal George yacht. However, the cottage only has 4 bedrooms, 1 for the couple and 1 each for their 3 children. The fact that Prince William and Kate sleep in 1 bedroom is more of an exception to the royal family's rule. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, like their predecessors, traditionally had separate bedrooms, and The Sun reports that there aren't the same support staff in the family, a big change for Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, whose nanny, Maria Borrallo, used to live with them at Kensington Palace and Anmer Hall. Meanwhile, according to Mail Online, the property is also relatively private thanks to the 7 gated entrances and exits of Windsor Castle. Who used to live in Adelaide Cottage? In recent years, Adelaide Cottage has been used as a cosy home for royal servants and family friends, but it is also famous for contributing to one of the most scandalous royal love stories of all time. One of the most famous former residents was Princess Margaret's love interest, Captain Peter Townsend. Townsend was a dashing Royal Air Force pilot and later an aide to King George VI, as well as a married father of 2. His relationship with Princess Margaret caused surprise because of their 16-year age difference and the fact that he divorced for her. However, the Queen and the government did not approve of Margaret and Peter's marriage. But the Prince and his wife have another secret spot. Prince William and Kate, Princess of Wales, make an annual trip to Balmoral with their 3 children but prefer not to stay in the main castle of the vast Scottish estate. The royal family continues to work during the summer, but they also have time for vacations. One annual trip includes mostly just private free time with a break for a trip to Balmoral in Scotland, where the family hunts, rides, and fishes on the vast estate. Prince William and Kate are currently visiting Balmoral with their 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. But while the main castle at Balmoral has plenty of room for the royal family, the Prince and Princess of Wales prefer to stay at their private residence. The Welsh have a property on the estate, a cottage known as Tamen Agar, which was given to Prince William by his late great-grandmother, the Queen Mother, before her passing in 2002. The modest cottage has just 3 bedrooms. Prince William and Kate have decided to keep the property a closely guarded secret, and there are very few images of their Scottish home. Balmoral, a working estate of over 20,000 hectares with a total of 150 buildings, is home to heathland, lush green woodland, and farmland, as well as a variety of animals, from herds of deer to Highland cattle and ponies. It is also home to Balmoral Castle, where the Queen and Prince Philip stayed for vacations. Interestingly, There are countless fascinating and incredible stories in the history of the royal family. There are real ones about a boy breaking into Buckingham Palace to steal Queen Victoria's underwear. There are supposed ones about the heir to the throne who was accused of being Jack the Ripper. And there are mystical ones about a ghost with horns called Herne the Hunter, who walks in Windsor Great Park when the king or queen is close to death. Recently, a very unexpected and creepy story came to light about a ghost named Wild Boy Peter, who visited Prince Louis' former nursery at Kensington Palace. Before Kensington Palace was transformed into a grand royal residence, it was originally a two-story Jacobean-era mansion built in 1605 in the village of Kensington. Sir Christopher Wren was invited to extend the house, and to keep costs down, he kept the original structure intact and added a three-story pavilion to each of the four corners. For the next 70 years, Kensington Palace was a welcome home for the Stuarts, although all official royal duties were still performed at St. James's Palace. The residence was expanded several times after the initial construction was completed. Other additions included additional living quarters, an art gallery, an orangery, new staterooms, and extensive garden landscaping. In recent years, Kensington Palace has been home to many members of the royal family, earning it the nickname the Royal Dormitory. At the end of the summer, the Prince and Princess of Wales moved from apartment 1A at Kensington Palace to Adelaide Cottage on the Windsor estate. It seems to be for the best, as their former family home was reportedly haunted, which is not uncommon for an old English castle. In the 1970s, Princess Margaret's housekeeper, who used to live in apartment 1, said she saw a woman dressed in Regency-style clothing, the way the heroines of Pride and Prejudice dressed, whose horrible screaming woke everyone up in the middle of the night. But when the stranger was searched for, only Princess Margaret's regular staff were found. But that wasn't the only report of a ghost, as it was said that Prince Louis' former nursery was haunted by a ghost known as Wild Boy Peter. The real Wild Boy Peter was brought from Hanover by King George I, as he was fascinated by a little boy who lived in the woods, walked on all fours, and could not speak. He is believed to have suffered from a very rare genetic condition, Pitt-Hopkins syndrome. Once Peter arrived in the UK in 1726, the then Princess of Wales took a keen interest in his welfare, but any attempts to teach him to speak or write failed. He is featured in a portrait of George I's courtier, which now hangs in Kensington Palace. Peter is believed to have died when he was 70 years old and is buried at St. Mary's Church in the village of Northchurch, near Berkhamsted in Hertfordshire. But it was in the form of a child that he was seen in Prince Louis' nursery. There have been numerous other reports of spooky apparitions appearing around the 17th century building, with many guards and residents of Kensington Palace admitting to seeing or hearing strange noises while in and around the palace. The most commonly named ghosts are those of Queen Caroline and Queen Victoria's aunt, Princess Sophia, sitting at a spinning wheel. King George II is even said to still haunt Kensington Palace. Towards the end of his reign, Britain became embroiled in the 7 Years' War, and it is said that his spirit roams the palace mourning his fallen soldiers.